Two storied franchises, each with a rich playoff history that goes back over half a century, continuing into the 90s. And just 2 years ago,
it has been determined that the receiver did not maintain possession of the football.
Yeah, of course it was tough. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. It ended our season.
But it's a different group of Cowboys now, as a pair of new young guns leads the way, hoping to outduel this seasoned gunslinger.
The game picks up. Better believe I'm going to pick my game up, too.
When you're playing these type of games, and this is what you dream about.
It's time to finish the fight, and round one starts right here on this special playoff edition of Cowboys Game Day.
Cowboys want to finish this fight, and the fight starts here. The playoff fight at AT&T Stadium, and right now, 5 hours, 10 minutes before kickoff, the parking lots have just opened. Let the tailgating begin. It's playoff time in Texas, and welcome to Cowboys Game Day inside AT&T Stadium, where the banners are hung so carefully. The top of the stadium, and the Cowboys would like to add to those banners in a few weeks. Again, welcome to Cowboys Game Day. Bill Jones along with the birthday boy, Randy White, the Manster.
Happy birthday, Randy.
As well as Keith Russell. Yes, January 15th, a special day in Cowboys history because the Manster was born this day.
Well, it was a big day, Bill. And in 1977, it was a bigger day.
Oh, really?
My birthday.
Funny you should mention that.
Oh,
Our producer, Chris Bullock, has the video. Yes, that was a catch by Butch Johnson right there.
Yeah.
And yes, that was Craig Morton getting sacked by the Manster. And yes, the beautiful Harvey Martin with pressure on the quarterback as well. And
that was Ed. That was too.
That was Ed there, okay, but it was Harvey Martin and Randy White who were co-MVPs of Super Bowl 12, a 27-10 win over the Denver Broncos. And what better way to kick off the playoffs this year?
That's a good one. I hope we get another Super Bowl win or another win today. Anyway.
You know what? I'm ready for this thing to finally be underway. I'm going to be a little cheesy, but I'm ready for the Cowboys to pack a punch. I'm tired of hearing about that catch that was a catch, that wasn't a catch, that was a catch, maybe it should have been a catch 2 years ago. I'm tired of hearing about Aaron Rodgers and his 3 Hail Marys. I'm tired of hearing about the fact that he won a Super Bowl back in 2010 on this very field. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kick this thing off, Randy.
I could tell, Keith. I'm getting nervous sitting next to you today. Don't attack me. I don't have a orange jersey or yellow jersey, whatever they got.
Will the Cowboys be ready at 3:40 this afternoon? The Cowboys are a confident team coming into this game. The defense played very well in that first meeting at Lambeau Field back in October. Barry Church with one of 4 takeaways for the Dallas defense. And on offense, it was a then career-high 157 yards rushing for the rookie Zeke Elliott as the Cowboys took control of that game in the second quarter. Cole Beasley with not 1 but 2 touchdown catches, a 30-16 win, and the Cowboys believe if they play their game again today, they can beat anyone.
We just got to go out there and just be ourselves, do what we've done all year long, run the ball well, pass the ball well. When it comes together, we're a tough team.
We only focus on what we do here, and that's what we're going to continue to keep doing.
For us, we just have to do what we do effectively, and I think that if we do what we do effectively, we have a chance to beat anyone.
We feel like if we do a good job being physical in all 3 phases, running the football, stopping the run, taking care of the ball, making explosive plays, limiting explosive plays, and winning at the end of the ball game, we feel like we have a chance to beat any team. We're focused on ourselves.
And as we sat down here today, Keith asked Randy the key to a Cowboys victory, and what was the first thing Randy said? Zeke. You got to run the football, right, Randy?
Well, I think you got to run the football. That's what we've done all year when we've been successful, and I think today is another day where if we can go out there and play that smash mouth football and move them Packers off that line of scrimmage and run the football, I think the game's going to go good for us.
Well, the one thing that stood out to me this week is what linebacker Clay Matthews had to say for the Green Bay Packers. And I don't think he was meaning it as a slight to Ezekiel Elliott or the Cowboys running game or the offensive line or the dominance of the ground game. But he said, Randy and Bill, I don't think we have to do anything special to be better against the Cowboys this time around than we were in the regular season. We just need to stay disciplined. But there's no special overhaul they need to make, Randy.
Well, they have a game film to look at and study what happened to them last time. and they'll try and correct those mistakes. And Aaron Rodgers is playing a lot better football now than he was back then. He made a lot of bad throws in that particular game, so it's going to be a tough game today.
And we'll break down Aaron Rodgers and that Packers offense coming up a little bit. But running the football has been the blueprint for the Cowboys' success throughout this season with Zeke Elliott and that offensive line. And there's a reason that the Cowboys have been so productive controlling football games this season. I think it starts up front with the offensive line, Randy.
There's no doubt. These guys have been they've been that wall that's led them down the path and got them to where they are. So today's another, not only just running the football, these Packers, if they get in passing situations, they're going to come with some blitzes. They're going to try to confuse Dak. Our offensive line's got to do a good job up there blocking. Also picking up the blitzes is going to be key today, because all these teams now, even us, we're doing it. They're delaying a guy a couple beats, and then all of a sudden, bam, he comes in there and gets a free shot at your quarterback. So that's what we got to look for today.
I think the Cowboys have to start strong. I think they have to start fast. I think they have to score early, just like they did in that game in Lambeau Field when they scored on the opening drive. I look back to the Packers win over the Giants. Packers should not have won that game. The Giants were the better team, at least from the start, but they dropped everything. They should have been up 14-0, 14-3, 17-3, and all it takes is one Aaron Rodgers play, Bill, and it's like, wow, what just happened there?
And it turned into a 38-13 Packers win, lopsided the other way. All right, we're just getting started here on Cowboys Game Day, live from AT&T Stadium. Just 5 hours before kickoff. Only 5 hours before kickoff. Coming up, what if the Packers sell out to stop Zeke and put it on the rookie quarterback's shoulders today? But first, time for our Wingstop trivia question. Packers head coach Mike McCarthy has his team in the playoffs for the 9th year. Only 2 current head coaches have more playoff appearances than McCarthy's 9. Can you name them? We'll have the answer after the break. I got one of them.
Belichick, obviously, Belichick. Pete Carroll?
Belichick and Carroll. I say Carroll.
No, I'm going to go. In our Wingstop trivia question, we told you only 2 current head coaches have more playoff appearances than Packers head coach Mike McCarthy's 9. Did you name them? Well, we all got Bill Belichick. And the big league, we all got Andy Reid as well.
My first run at it, so I can't tell you really what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to just go out there for it to be a great atmosphere. It's a big game. We're going to go home. I know the importance of that, and it's a great position we put ourselves in.
On a foggy 47-degree morning at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, yes, they're already tailgating outside. They have come prepared for playoff football as the Cowboys host a divisional playoff game for just the second time in 21 years. And among the early arrivals, the world-renowned Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders as well, getting warmed up 5 hours before kickoff. Bill Jones, Randy White, Keith Russell, as we talk Cowboys, Packers, and the keys to a Cowboys win today. We've talked about Zeke. Let's talk about the rookie quarterback, Dak Prescott, making his first playoff start. Every stage so far in his career, whether it was in college, whether it was preseason, regular season, now postseason, the stage has not been too big for Dak, Randy.
No, I mean, and you heard him talking there earlier. I mean, it's another game. I mean, that's a cliche, but you know, you can't prepare any better than he's prepared all year. I mean, this is a big game. If you lose, you're out of the playoffs. You win, you're going on to the NFC Championship game. But when you hit this field, you do what you do good. And you don't try to do more than what you normally do or less than what you go out and do what you've done all year long to get you here.
You know, in all of our years covering sports, sometimes you're able to read body language even before the players hit the field. And I know I've seen times where quarterbacks have come out and during the week of a big game, you can tell as a reporter they're tight. You can see their body language, you can see their demeanor, they get snippy, all of a sudden they're not as jovial. Nothing about Dak has changed this week, and that's what warms my heart. He's still joking with the media, he's still joking with his teammates, he's still as loose as he has been all year, and I expect him to carry that onto the field.
It's going to be very interesting what Dom Capers, the Packers defensive coordinator, throws at Dak and the Cowboys offense this time What do you expect different from the October meeting? The Cowboys were able to control that football game without Dez Bryant on the field. And Dak played a good game that day.
Well, yeah, they got to stop the run, Bill. If I'm coming in here, I'm going to play the Dallas Cowboys. I've got to stop the running game. But we got so many weapons to throw the ball to, and now we got Dez this time around. That creates some problems. But, you know, I would say they're going to have to try to stop the run. If they do, they put us in 3rd and long. We got to have some answers to them blitzes. We got to be able to pick the blitzes up today if they stop a running game a little bit.
I think obviously that is the key for the Packers, and that's going to be their mantra going into this game. But Dak Prescott has been up to the challenge all year. I mean, you don't put up a stat line like he did this season without being qualified to take on those blitzes. 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Yes, the Packers are going to bring the house. A lot is going to fall on Dak Prescott's shoulders, but I believe he'll be up to the challenge.
And how about Dez Bryant getting his first opportunity this year against the Packers? And, of course, you've seen the stuff from 2 years ago. We try to put that, and Dez needs to put that out of his mind, I think, going into this game and focus on the task at hand today.
Yeah, that's over. You can't change that. Worry about something you can control. And you know what you control? You control what you get out here and do on this football field today and come away with a win. That's what you got to work on.
All week, people have asked the Cowboys, what's a catch? Do you still have any better idea of what's a catch? You know what a catch is? A catch is when the ball doesn't hit the ground, when it lands in your hands, and hopefully when you're standing upright in the end zone. That definitively is a catch, Randy.
Well, it is, but I thought it was a catch Dez had last time, too, but I don't care. That's over with. We don't want to get into that today. That's all it's done and gone with. We want to talk about the game.
And how about Cole Beasley? Cole Beasley could be a key factor. Dez might be the X factor, but Cole Beasley had 2 touchdown catches against this Dom Capers defense last time around, and I expect him to be a big player in this game today, too.
Well, we've got a lot of weapons to throw the football to. Dak has taken advantage of all of them all year long, and I think we'll see the same thing today. He's going to throw to the guy that's open. We can get Dez the ball. I mean, the cornerbacks, they say their cornerbacks are a little suspect. You know, I don't see them putting one-on-one with Dez. If they do, fire the ball up to him, go down there and get a big play. But, yeah.
I don't care if they call it Dak and dunk. We need to move the ball, and we need to get first downs. Getting first downs keeps Aaron Rodgers off the field. If the Cowboys can do that, I think they'll be successful.
All right, Cowboys game day continues in a moment. Coming up, the Manster tells us how you contain Aaron Rodgers. He's the only person on the earth that has figured this out, and we find out next.
Yeah, right. Well, thanks. Thanks for the task.
It's time for the Nissan On the Road Report. Shop ChooseNissan.com today.
I just feel like it just takes one. We get one under our belts, things might start rolling for us, and we can run the table. You know, offensively, it's time we set the tone for the team and really took this thing over.
Cowboys game day continues, and how about this? The Tailgaters watching CBS 11. Shout out to the Tailgaters out there in the parking lot and inside AT&T Stadium. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders getting set for game time and their performance this afternoon. It is a divisional playoff game, and if the Cowboys come away with a victory, it would be their biggest win in 21 years since Super Bowl 30 and that victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers back in January 1996. Bill Jones, Randy White, Keith Russell, as we welcome you back here. Let's talk Aaron Rodgers a little bit. You know, Rodgers has 22 touchdowns and no interceptions his last 8 games. Incredible. First touchdown pass last week against the Giants. Illustrates all you need to see about one of the things that makes Aaron Rodgers great. Buying time in the pocket, rifles a strike to a covered receiver. Doesn't matter. Rodgers is unreal.
I think you want to affect the quarterback. I think you want to be around him. I think you want to contain him in the pocket. I think you want to make him uncomfortable. I think you want to cover the guys on the other end.
We got to hit him. Simple as that. You got to keep him in the pocket, get some pressure on him in the pocket. If he breaks the pocket, we got to be all over him.
First, you have to find a way to pressure him. You have to find a way to, cover longer than you'd like to cover. And, the play is extended longer than most plays are, so we're going to have to rally.
I mean, you're all looking at a first ballot Hall of Fame, obviously. So we know what's in store for us, and now we just got to concern ourselves with us.
From the coaches to the players, yes, they're singing Aaron Rodgers praises, and we've got a Hall of Famer here, a guy who's a co-Super Bowl MVP 39 years ago on this day, his birthday, and the Manster has figured it out, haven't you?
Oh, I figured it out, yeah. Now, I tell you what, Bill, if you go against a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you got to keep him in front of you. If you watch here, guys try and run by, they practice this. That offensive lineman just takes you and just scoots those defensive linemen around. He plays around in there, and he gets free. And then, he's very accurate because his receivers are down there trying to get open. So you got to disrupt his timing and stop him from throwing the ball effectively. That's, that would be the goal. But, how do you do that? You keep him in front of you. You keep your hands up. When you get stopped, you get your hands up. You make him move. Don't you move and then let him move.
You can't be out of control with your pass rush.
You got to be in control, and when you see yourself getting past him, you stop, you come back, and now you try and get him back in front of you again.
You almost have to be like a basketball defender.
That's exactly right. Use the same things, because he's going to give you that scoop, doot, and he's going to get out of the way. I mean, that's what he does. He's a master at it. So you just got to kind of stop and make him sit there and dance in front of you, and then that'll confuse him. I mean, it sounds complicated, but that's what you have to do.
You want to confuse Aaron Rodgers because clearly you have to distract the guy to get him off his game. I have a way to confuse him. You take his girlfriend, Olivia Munn, you sit her on the Cowboys sideline, that will confuse him. He'll say, which side are you playing for? I mean, but seriously, the Cowboys have to get on top. They have to get on top of the scoreboard, and they have to stay in front of the Packers. I think if the Cowboys get a sizable lead, this could be a day where Aaron Rodgers now has to force balls into tighter windows, and the Cowboys have shown they're at their best defensively when they're playing in front and when they're able to tee off and go after the quarterback.
You know, one thing the Cowboys were able to do in that October game, now Rodgers was not playing at the same level then. The Packers offense was not playing at the same level they have been in their 7-game win streak. They were able to affect his game. They got 4 takeaways, and one of the keys for the Cowboys, I think, today is the fact they've got everybody back healthy on their defensive line. David Irving had a breakout game against the Packers in that game back in October, and you can rush him from the inside and get in Rodgers' face a little bit.
Well, and I don't know if you can keep somebody back that's kind of keying on Rodgers.
Justin Durant last game.
And when you see the right opportunity, take a shot, go right at him. I mean, under control, but you whack him a few times like that, and he's going. That's what you talk about when you talk about disrupting the quarterback. You make him think, okay, where'd he come from? Now you got his mind off of what he's trying to do. Now you affect him. And get holding penalties. When you're putting that pressure on a quarterback, these guys start holding. That's where you get your holding penalties. That's what takes away some of their good plays and drives them back. That's a key, too.
Another thing that the Cowboys did very effectively in that game, and they've done this all season, they rushed 3, they played coverage. Now Rodgers and the Packers are going to have an adjustment for that this time, right?
Well, surely they will. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. Don't get it wrong. We know that. He's going to be prepared for anything we throw at him. It's just a matter of us. We're going to have to do it better than he does, and we're going to have to make some big plays. Our defensive backs, we got some guys back there very capable of making some big plays on defense. Our linemen are capable. Our linebackers, we got to get turnovers, big plays. That's what it takes to win a football game.
And one of the key players for the Packers, number 88 out of St. Mark's High School in Dallas, Ty Montgomery, converted from wide receiver to running back, and he's been playing very well for Green Bay. All right, we wrap up Cowboys Game Day. Get you set for kickoff later this afternoon with a playoff prediction from the Manster coming up next.
In the words of Witten, sponsored by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com today.
I think that's what this team does. It has this ability to kind of understand what our goals are and what's in front of us, but then kind of dial it back to the opportunity now. And so it's been a long time since we got to this situation, and I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Let's take a look at the International Suit Warehouse playoff schedule for your Dallas Cowboys. It's a 3:40 kickoff against the Packers today. Now, next Sunday at 2:05, if Dallas wins today, they will host the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC Championship game. And if they win that game in Houston, it's Super Bowl 51 on Sunday, February 5th. As outside AT&T Stadium, the tents are up, the fans are arriving. Yes, 4.5 hours before kickoff, 4:40 before kickoff. The fans are already arriving for this one on a foggy, misty day outside. Supposed to clear off this afternoon. Should be a great afternoon for tailgating. Bill Jones, Randy White, and Keith Russell. Some final thoughts on this game and a final prediction from the Manster, the birthday boy, who this season 13-3 on your predictions. That's a pretty good record. Oddly enough, that's the same record the Cowboys had this year.
I wonder why, Bill. You know what? I'm picking them again today, Bill. And I think it's going to be a physical game, and that's going to play into the Cowboys' hands, and they're going to be too much for Green Bay. I think there'll be too much for the Green Bay Packers today.
Hey, I'm already looking ahead to Matty Ice and Julio Jones.
Oh.
I'm already looking ahead to next Sunday right here at AT&T Stadium. Randy, your hand is really heavy. You're about to push me out of the chair.
Settle down.
I think the Cowboys will struggle a little bit early. They'll be a little bit nervous. I think they have no choice but to be nervous. Some of these guys have never been in this position before, but I think they drive the ball down the field late. Dak Prescott with a game-winning drive, Dan Bailey field goal. Cowboys win 27-24.
All right, I've got it 34-20, a double-digit win for the Cowboys, and they would host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Catch Dave Campo and me tonight on CBS 11 News. Of course, you got the Steelers and the Chiefs playing tonight as well. For Randy and Keith, I'm Bill, and we will see you again next week here on Cowboys Game Day.